Hi there, it's Simone. Welcome to another Journal with Me video in my Hobonichi Weeks. I have been documenting my weeks in a Hobonichi Weeks in 2020 and have continued to do so in 2021. I started in the beginning of the year, I started to use items that I receive in Happy Mail from my friends, kind of like as a challenge for myself to use those items that I receive from my friends in one spread. And so this is Happy Mail that I received from my friend Amy. Her Instagram is Life of Lilikoi Journals. I hope that is the right way to pronounce it. And I have never actually asked her, so I probably should. And it is very fun. However, all of these spreads that you are watching have been made in February, I think, before I moved to a new place. And I have not touched my weeks since. And I think if you watched my video last week, I already talked about that. Watching these videos and watching me create makes me actually want to sit down and finally catch up, or at least continue working on the weeks so that I eventually will be able to be caught up at some point. It's not really, I am, as you can see, I have my Hobonichi cousin right next to me, where in the monthly view, I actually write down snippets of what happened each day. And I do that mostly on a daily basis or every other day, so that I have a reference for when I actually sit down and get to document, because then it isn't stressful when I fall behind. Yeah, so it is very taunting, or I really need to kind of get over that fear of starting to work in this Hobonichi Weeks again. And these videos that I'm voicing over right now would help if I had the time to actually sit down to film and make more spreads. It is right now, it's Friday afternoon, so maybe I do have the time, depending on how long it takes me to record this voiceover, to actually just go for it and create more. I feel I feel like I'm repeating myself all the time because I have been chatting about that problem for a month now. I feel very deprived of me time. I don't have as much time as I had before to journal, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly the reasons for those are. Yes, I moved a bit further away from my workplace. My son, my oldest, has started playing baseball, so I need to drive him to places. But yeah, for some reason, there is never enough time in my day. And before, I did have more time to actually sit down and create in various different journals. Right now, and I sent Happy Mail all through February. I sent a letter every day, and I struggled in the end, but I think, and I had to catch up maybe 4 letters, but still I was able to send out 24 letters in February, and now I'm struggling to send out maybe one a month, and I'm barely keeping up with my journals. So still, I don't know where that time is going, but I'm definitely noticing that I feel very desperate to get into all of those journals and create again. So yeah, watching myself create is definitely a lot of fun. Let me tell you a bit more about this challenge. That is also very overwhelming because I'm receiving, since I sent out so much mail, I also receive a lot of mail from other people, and my envelopes and little pouches full of stuff that I would like to challenge myself in this week's is ginormous. So that is definitely also very taunting, anxiety inducing. Isn't that just the best English? Like today at work, I had lots of those perfect phrases where I was like, maybe I should be a professor for the usage of English catchphrases. I don't know. My cat is super unhappy because he doesn't get to go outside right now. Um, so let me continue. Where was I? Yes. So when I have this envelope or glassine bag, wherever I store the items that I receive in Happy Mail, and I am working on those and using them to create a spread. And I am completely done with the spread. Then I move all the things that are left over because most of the time I'm not even using half of the things that are included in the Happy Mail. And then I will move those into my regular stash. And I'm using them everywhere else. So let me tell you my strategy that I have when I receive mail from people. I love salvaging or cutting out items that are stuck on the outside of the envelope, and that is what I use most of the time. I use to document that in my Hobonichi cousin. I don't have the cousin with 1 page per day. I have the cousin day free. So it's just the monthly pages in the front and then lots of empty pages in the back. And then I just write Happy Mail from such and such. If they sent a note, I will add the note into my Hobonichi cousin somehow. And some of the items that are included in the mail, and the rest will get put into this. Yeah, let me just tell you something about this. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I wrote something down and I did not like it at all. And then I was like, okay, so what do I do now? I looked over to the stickers and I decided here I will be writing this one more time, but definitely not in watercolor. So I chose this sticker and wrote it down just with my pen, and then I will stick the sticker right on top of the watercoloring, and you don't even know that it's there. However, this spread is not my favorite spread ever. The reason for that is that I feel this craft paper throws off the balance of the spread. So I would need to balance it out, but I don't think I'm actually able to. And it is kind of very heavy. When I look at spreads, and I know I'm totally off the topic that I was talking about before. If we have time, I will get back to that. But let me just elaborate, yay, great word, on this, on the way that I look at my spreads. I look at them in different color blobs. So if I use watercoloring, I would like to distribute it evenly on the page. So for instance, not only watercoloring. So this sticker is also very colorful, and that I would include in that colorful design that I use for the watercolor. So I want to have kind of even items on this page. So I like to have black that balances out with the colors. So if I add another item like this craft sticker, then I would like to have it for me, it's like a scale. And now on the left side of the spread, it is quite heavy, and the craft sticker pulls the scale and brings it out of balance. So now what ideally would happen is that I would bring in more craft sticker, another craft item on the right side of the spread, maybe further down or further up, so it's not on the same in the same height, so that the scale comes back onto an even more even level. And that's exactly what I'm doing with the washi tape strips that I'm adding as well. So I have one over there. It is pushing down on the left side. So now I need one on the right side to balance that out. And I also like to look at the spreads with the height. So I don't want to have the same item on the same horizontal line. I would like to spread them out evenly across the vertical aspect of the spread as well, if that makes sense. That's kind of the approach that I always have when I'm working on these spreads. And I do feel like yeah, for me, it's like it is uneven. And so now I need to add something similar onto the other side. But for some reason, I cannot really find the perfect craft sticker, which, to be completely honest, that is my own fault, because I probably could have just gone into my stash, pulled out some craft paper, something else. That is when you're limiting yourself too much, and then you don't find the right thing because you're boxing yourself into these limits. I try really hard to not do that, but I have if you've been a subscriber for a long time, you know that I struggle with this all the time. Here I can clearly see it right now, that would have been the easiest solution. I am not I won't find that solution when creating this spread, but I hope to learn from my struggles right now and be more open to add in items from my stash in the future. So there's 2 minutes left. Let me just refer back to what I was talking about before, Happy Mail. So I make a note into my cousin, which is my everything journal. Everything goes in there about the Happy Mail from the person. I add the note in there if there was one included. And then I pack it all up, put it into my folder, and will challenge myself to use it in a spread. When that is done and the spread is completed, then I will add all of that into my stash and try to use it up anywhere I want. And again, this is very rigid, very hard rules. I'm trying to not, again, box myself in. So if I have this sticker and I have a journaling page over there, that it will fit in really nicely, then I hope, I'm trying really hard not to say, no, you cannot use this sticker right now, because it still needs to be used in the challenge for the Hobonichi Weeks. But that is basically how all of those things work, and I'm really enjoying the process. Or to be honest, I did when I was still actively creating spreads in my Hobonichi Weeks. And I'm hoping, that's why I'm talking so fast right now, that I will bust out my iPhone stand and will create a spread in my weeks right after I'm done voicing over this video, because then it's still fresh and the excitement is still there. I hope you are all doing well. I really love chatting to you and with you. Leave a comment down below and let me know what kind of strange rules you have for some of the things that you make. I hope I'm not the only one who does things like that. I hope to see you soon. Until then, bye.